let's read this out. This is from Brian now. When you said run after lifting or on another day entirely, it jogged my memory on something I've been wondering about. My own exercise regime is modest enough, but well in excess of the average 60-year-old, and if you're still training at 60, more power to you. In excess of the average 60-year-old wouldn't be difficult given the state of many of my contemporaries, isn't that a sad fact? I'm interested in all-round physical capabilities, not setting records. I have a busy full-time job and family obligations, which as time goes by have eased off somewhat, and are once more allowing me to spend more time on myself. Brilliant. I'm not interested in being a man mountain, but I do like to feel reasonably strong with a reasonable level of endurance and not be out of breath walking up 5 flights of stairs, etc. 5 flights. To this end, I do several rounds, 5. 5 rounds of heavy bag work, 4 days a week, sometimes more in the summer. Work rate is good and hard with 30 seconds rested between. I then lift free weights, moderate numbers, and use whatever machines may be available for a further 30 minutes. I'm not scientific at all, and I don't mind. Love that. My question is, does being tired after the bag work severely impact the benefits of lifting? I prefer to start with the bag work as it's a fucking killer, and I doubt I could give it full welly after lifting. Brian. What a story. Few things to pull out of that to start with. 1, 60-year-old, still hitting the gym 3 days a week. So what he said? I got a bit lost in that. 4 days a week. 60 years old, hitting the gym 4 days a week. 5 rounds of bag work, followed by using the free weights and the machines. And he's asking me, is the bag work having a negative impact on his weight training? In your case, Brian, absolutely not. And what we've got, right, we have a question of priorities. If we wanted a perfect strength and conditioning only gym program, then yeah, it would go in the sort of order of we'd warm up, we'd do skill work. Skill work makes for a great warm up, as does mobility work, as does rehab work, right? Then you get into power-based stuff, so maybe your jumps and your plyometrics, anything high force, into cleans, Olympic variations. Then you go to the strength, the slower moving heavy stuff, so your big squats, your deadlift, your big barbell movements. Then you'd finish with the gradually smaller movements, fewer moving parts in the body. So, going from, say, a squat where you've got everything moving, or a big press where you've got to organize the whole body, down to seated shoulder presses or machine work and single joint movements. So you go from high skill to high power to high strength to gradually smaller, less taxing movements as fatigue builds. And that would be the accepted way of doing things. But, and I love the note about not being scientific about it, training is as much art as it is science, and any good coach knows this. We are guided by science. We are, who says it? The name escapes me. There is one of the people I've followed online for a long time who does a lot of research, but is still in the trenches doing the actual client work, and loves to point out we are not evidence-based, we are evidence-informed. I love that, evidence-informed, right? The human body has not really changed in millennia. I don't know how many thousands of years, not even going to try and guess. right? We haven't really evolved. We could argue we devolved in that, physical capabilities currently are probably lower than physical capabilities of a few generations ago, and we can put that down to the change in nature of work. We're not most of us are not out doing physical work anymore. It's a lot of white collar work now. Even me doing this, sitting in a chair, nice and comfortable, not demanding. Where are we at? So the human body has not really evolved a whole lot. So what it comes down to is, what are your priorities? Brian, and I know Brian, I've met Brian a number of times over a lot of years. He's a good fella. Brian likes to be fighting fit. Like he said, he's not worried about being a man mountain. And he's even past the point of being fully fighting fit. He just wants to be able to perform, to be active. 60 years old, it's a fair assumption he's got grandkids. I'm sure he wants to be there, able to play with and run around after the grandkids. And of all the many people I've trained over the years, from weekend warriors to semi-pro athletes and everything in between, and rehab programs and all the rest of it, the people who've always come into me and said, I want to train to be fit for my kids or my grandkids, that's always my favourite. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's any greater goal. So, is Brian's Bagwork going to negatively affect his lifting? Yeah. Does it matter? No. Simple as that. Bagwork is going to leave the body in a state of fatigue. How much? Well, that depends on how hard he works. It's not pure endurance work. It is still aerobic, but it's not pure endurance work. It's not going out for a 30-minute run or an hour run. It's not doing a 30-mile bike ride. It's hitting the bag. So it's power. It's that power endurance idea. It is going to leave you fatigued. So you're probably not going to be lifting the loads that you would require for maximal strength. But is that important? Honestly, no. If it's congruent with your goals, it's all down to setting your goals first. If you want to be, if you're a bodybuilder, if hypertrophy and getting massive is your goal, then yeah, all your energy goes into the lifting and you don't worry about anything else. If you're an athlete, and I don't mean to denigrate bodybuilding, to talk bad about bodybuilding, but if you want to be athletic and able to perform, then the performance training comes first. Look across a lot of track and field and you'll see that they will do warm-ups and they'll do plyometrics and then they'll do their actual sports practice, and then they'll hit the gym afterwards for 4 sets of squats and a few sets of this and a few sets of that, and done. But they're not lifters. They're athletes. Brian is looking to remain athletic. He's not looking to be a lifter. Granted, I mostly lift at the moment. I'm not doing much athletic outside of lifting, but I'm still not lifting in a manner to be massively big and massively strong. If you look at the videos, you'll see there are lots of moving around drills. And that's because we're looking to be able to move around, to be agile, athletic, mobile, bouncy, springy, elastic, whatever you want to call it, and have skills. So we said earlier on, in a perfect training, skill work comes first, doesn't it? So punch in the bag, bag work, good bag work is high skill work. Yes, you can push it to fatigue, but it's still skill work. Good technique, good alignment, good power, good movement into it, footwork, turning the hips, turning the hand over, all these things, skills. So yeah, do your skill work first. You can't, the idea of a perfect workout doesn't really exist. As much as we want it to, it does not exist. And it is because of that fact is, what are we working out for? And that what are we working out for, that changes how a workout should go. Do you know what I mean? Was Andrew Huberman put out a perfect workout a little while ago? And I read it, and I didn't see anything special in it at all. I didn't see what it was perfect for. I couldn't figure out what it was perfect for. You go on to, you look me up on Train Heroic, look at Waggy's Fitness Training, or look at Dave Hedges on the Train Heroic website, and you'll see a number of programs there. They're all different. And I'd say they're all perfect for the right populace. There are 2 programs on that Train Heroic app that I put on there because they have created world champion athletes in the respective sports. There's one on there, it's called Reset One. It's a very, very simple program that has taken away pain and injury and increased mobility. I wrote it for one lady in particular, trialed it on another, and then on several more, and every single person, huge gains in mobility, movement, ease of movement. Is it a perfect workout? It is if you're looking for, as the title suggests, a reset. Is the perpetual motion program for strikers, is that a perfect program? It is if you're looking for non-stop, forward-moving endurance, perpetual motion. It's the boot camp. There's a 3 and a 4 day boot camp on there. Are they perfect? They're pretty damn close, to be honest. The workout of the day that I'm currently following myself, is that perfect? For me right now, it absolutely is. Do you know what I mean? So there's no one perfect thing. It's all determined. Perfection is determined by the goal. If your goal is to be a man mountain, as Brian said he doesn't want to be, but if that is your goal, you want to be a man mountain, none of my programs will work for you. None of them. That's not the goal. That's not what I train people for. So yeah, Brian, I'll just get the message up again. You're doing it, mate. And to be 60 years old and still in the gym 4 days a week, can't fault it. Really can't fault it. I would suggest maybe keeping the sessions short and pointed. 5 rounds on the bag. I'd say you're probably doing between 1 and 2 minutes on the bag. So you do 2 on, 1 off. That's 15 minutes. And yes, I just counted on my fingers. About 15 minutes. Bagwork, thereabouts. Then you hit the gym. You could be, especially at this slightly more mature age, we'll say, keeping the workout a little bit shorter. So 15 minutes of bag work, 15 minutes of lifting. That way you're only probably lifting 2-3 exercises, big rock stuff. Yeah, you'd be killing it. Start dragging it out. You can be eating into recovery and everything else, but Brian, we need more people doing what you're doing, more people training like you're training. If we had more of that being promoted than what a lot of social media and internet gurus are promoting, I think people would be in better shape, healthier for longer. All right? You're doing it right, mate. Proud of you. Now, as always, I'm looking for questions and comments. I've got a list that we're going to be getting through, but send in your questions, send in your comments, and we can add to that list when we get to it. There is like and subscribe and the bell thing. Apparently, the more you hit them, the wider the spread of these videos, the more people we reach. And I will be talking to you soon, next week, I hope. All right, till then, crack on.